Hey, what's up, turtles? Krik here, obviously. Got another of my DIY projects I want to share with you today, and it's pretty cool. It's in my bag right now, but let me just get it out and start talking about it. I don't have it on my belt right now. I had it riding in my bag, but here it is. It's a Slingshot holster, and it might just look like a belt axe loop, something like that, and for general size construction, it is, but there are a few things I had to take into account because of this sort of clasping system I chose to make it with. You can see I'm fighting with it right now. It's kind of goofy the way I'm holding it, but it's a bungee right here. And let me take the Slingshot out. You've seen the Slingshot before. I've done a video on that. That's the Hathcock target sniper, and they actually have double bands on there that MCQ Bushcraft sent over. Okay, so here is the holster, and you know, I share my mistakes on this channel with projects I've done. You can see how wonky this is, right? Because I tried using these rivets and I needed an actual horn for this to sit on and be able to peen these copper rivets over correctly, and I didn't have that, and I tried fighting with it, and you can obviously see the outcome. It didn't really affect its structural integrity, but for aesthetics, I'm not going to do it like this again. This is sort of my prototype. But one thing I did figure out that I needed, you can see with this piece of leather, right? It's malleable. It's thick leather, but it's just conditioned and dyed. You can see it moving like that. But for this back piece that the bungee is, sort of the belt loop, this back plate we'll call them, is that when I pull this bungee over, I needed this to be rigid. And if the leather was just like this, it crumpled on itself and it pulled over, so I needed this to be structural. So what I did basically is I hardened this, just like you'd wet form something. I just didn't take it to a different shape, I just needed it hard. And that's how I got past this, being able to pull this bungee and keep this erect and upright. Stoney, a little schoolyard giggle. Someone said erect. Yeah, but that's basically all there is to it. And I didn't tie it in the back. I was just trying out this cord lock. Where did we get these REI? I think that one time we bought a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, REI. I'm just literally just testing it out. You can just tie a knot in there, but I kind of just was testing out to see how these cord locks hold up, since they are kind of really inexpensive. But then we get it on my belt and, show you the ease of taking the Slingshot in and out of this. Belt loop, there you are. That cord lock is sort of pushing this out a little proud, but that's all right. It doesn't really bother me. Let me grab my Slingshot, and when I'm sort of putting it away, all I do is take the bands, and just sort of wrap them around just to get this. And it doesn't really matter what way I put it in. Set the handle down, or over the handle, and then it's really nice and secure on my hip now. I don't have any ammo sitting on my hip. That might be really convenient if I could integrate this and a way to keep ammo, but you could just have a separate pouch on your belt with your ammo in it if you really want to carry it all on your belt. But yeah, this is basically really all there is to it, and super simple. I am gonna switch up the design a little bit because you see I take it out just as easy. I ended up doing 2 different pieces. You can see the stitch line right there. I'm gonna try to figure out to do this all one piece, because yeah, I think you could still use this to hang an axe, and I think this is definitely strong enough to hold the weight of an axe, kind of the stress from the belt pulling on this hip. If I take out the bungee, it's going to be resting on this stitch line. But I think I figured out be able to do it all one piece to keep it structural without a stitch line and have the hardness. Yeah, it's basically all there is to it. Oops. The reason I like doing these videos to show the projects I made is because, one, I'm becoming more and more happy with the things I make, and I want to share them, and I'm not being so hard on myself. But mainly because I want to share what I learned going through this, sort of designing things and figuring out this didn't work and that, and I can share what I learned with you, and that way you maybe don't make the same mistake I did, or don't mess up on a piece of leather, or just go through that same difficult things. And there's difficult processes when we're building or designing things. We learn a lot from them and we grow, but still it's really nice to learn sort of basics and principles without going through yourself and always meeting those frustrations. So that's why I like sharing the projects I made with you. And I know a lot of you are interested to see what I make too, because there's a lot of tinkerers watching, little tinkiers Tinker Tailor. There's a lot of tinkerers watching this channel as well, so let me know what you think. Like I said, I am going to try to improve upon this design, and I actually might make a couple. I actually just might make a couple and have them up for sale. So Black Owl on Instagram, we put stuff up there for sale, and also Black Owl Supply is our Instagram handle that you might see some goods coming from us, handmade goods. So you can follow us on that. So again, any questions, let me know what you think. This is Krik with Black Owl. Later, turtles.